Hey everyone, Matt Loetscher here from the Middle Fresh region. I want to talk to you today a little bit about the fall crappie transition and how to catch them as they go through that period from the fall on into the winter time. It's one of my favorite times because they tend to bite really well. They're coming out of that late summer lull when it's just been really hot for them and for us to be out there, and so everything's cooling off and things just get good. So initially, when you get those first few cold fronts of the fall, what's going to happen is those fish basically usually they hang out in the same spot where they've been for that late part of the summer, but they bite better. So it makes it a lot of fun to be out there catching them. So you're still going to catch them in that 20 to 30 foot range for the most part. You know, you may see some as shallow as 15, but they're going to be more aggressive. They're going to be still up pretty high in the water column. They're going to be up near that 8 to 12 foot range, maybe 15 foot down at the most, and they're going to be feeding pretty aggressively. As you get on in to the fall, when let's say mid-October, it's cooled off a little now, the water temperature's dropping, you've had a few fronts come through. That drastic change in water temperature near the surface is going to push those fish down a little bit deeper. They're still going to stay around those same areas. They're going to be around that deep timber, the bridge pilings, places like that. They're just going to push down a little deeper. So you're just going to want to look for them to be down more like midway around that timber. And then as it gets colder, when you get on into, let's say, November, all the way usually to around Thanksgiving, they're still going to stay around those same areas for the most part, about 15 to 30 foot deep. And they're going to be more around the base of the trees down on the bottom and or closer to the bottom. So basically, the colder it gets, the more they push down in the water column, and they usually bite pretty darn good the whole way through this process. So it makes it fun. The weather's pretty, it's nice, it's great to be out there. As for baits, of course your live minnows are always an option. And the deeper that these fish get, the more you can get on top of them and just drop down tight line style. But my favorite way to catch them is with these panfish assassin jigs, just on a light jig head like this you see right here. These are awesome for catching those big slabs. You can pitch it out there a little ways in front of the boat and let it kind of just come down like a pendulum, especially early in the fall when the crappie are still up a little higher in the water column. Then, like I said, as it gets down a little colder, you can get more vertical with this presentation, and you can get straight over the top of them, just drop this thing straight down to them, and just work it slowly down and slowly back up, just with the rod tip, just dropping it down and pulling it back up in and out of that school of crappie, and they're going to chase it down and thump it real hard. It's a really fun bite all the way into the late fall when you're just going to let it go all the way to the bottom and just pull it up off the bottom. As I said, the colder it gets, the lower they go. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's a great time to be out there in the Middle Fresh region and all over the state of Texas. This pattern applies. So and the depth is pretty much the same, just about on any lake you go in Texas. So get out there on those great reservoirs we have and enjoy some awesome crappie fishing.